Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast, which is a show where we try to elevate and amplify the voices of Asian creators that we love. And today we're going to be talking about an amazing independent film. It's written and directed by Hmong filmmaker Doua Moua. It's called The Harvest, and it's a film that if you get a chance to see, if it comes to your area, you should definitely make time to see it. And today we are fortunate enough to have two of the film's stars with us. Please welcome to the show actress Dawn Ying Yuen and actress Chrisna Chhor. Welcome, guys.
Hello,
Thank you,
nice to meet
Curtis.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah. No, thanks for taking some time out. I know. So this is, what are we, August 20th? And right now there's a tropical storm headed your way. So are you guys safe and dry right now?
Yeah, it's a
Indoor.
little bit of rain.
LA, my sister lives in LA. LA has had some weird weather this year. You had like a blizzard, you had tornadoes. Like it's been a weird year.
Yeah, it's weird.
So we'll add a hurricane to the list of things.
So the storm doesn't get to San Francisco, or does it?
It might. I think it's gonna head east after LA, and San Diego is gonna kind of keep going towards the mountains. But we'll see. I'm ready.
Okay.
If it rains.
I know Las Vegas is gonna be flooding too. So maybe it's
Yeah,
heading
Palm
that way.
Springs.
Yeah.
So I think it's making a right turn once it hits once
So
it
you're
hits SoCal.
lucky.
Maybe we'll see. You never know. You never know.
Okay.
We like to. I like to greet my guests in the Asian way. So maybe we'll start. We'll go with Dawn first. Dawn, 吃饭了吗？
吃饭了。
Okay,
我
good.
今天吃点心。
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. We like to eat before these things. I like to have guests on a full stomach before we start recording. It makes it a better recording, I think.
Yes.
So, Krishna, the question is, did you eat yet?
Oh, yes, I did. I ate so much. I'm in like a food coma right now.
Oh no, we gotta wake you up. We'll order you some coffee, have it delivered over there.
That would be great.
Krishna, what language do you speak? Do you speak any other languages?
So far I speak a little bit of Khmer. I'm not really fluent. I wish I was, but it's very whitewashed, I think.
Yeah, I feel that. My language skills are bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I feel that.
But at least you understand some Mandarin, right? I hear you
I took a little. Yeah, I
Yeah.
took some classes. So, and I went to Taiwan a couple times, so I know a little bit.
Cool.
All right. Hey, do you mind if we dig into your roots? We kind of did already just now, but I like to kind of get into our guest's roots a little bit. So maybe we'll start with Don this time. What is your family background?
Oh, well, I'm originally from Singapore. I speak Cantonese. I grew up with my grandmother, who's from Guangzhou, China. And so I grew up speaking Cantonese, but I study Mandarin in school. So I basically speak three languages, Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. I moved here 2001. I was already in my 30s, early 30s, and I've been, I have two boys. They were born here in the United States. And one of them is actually gonna start freshman year, this fall, in UCLA. And I have a second one, who's gonna be taking his 12th grade exam next year, and so we'll be studying college afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about being an Asian mom
Yeah.
later. So you have the experience. So yeah, that role that you slid into that role quite easily.
Yes, I know. I'm so used to being a mom, even like with my like sister's children or my friends' children, I'm like always that mom. But of course, I was a full-time housewife, so I spent a lot of time taking care of both my boys because my husband was always out of town. He had a job that requires him to travel on the weekdays. So I was basically the only person at home. So I was like full on tiger mom. Otherwise, two boys are not gonna listen to me. So I'm actually really strict and firm as a mother. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a little bit of that came out in the film. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about Krishna. So you said you're full Khmer. Did you grow up kind of in a mixed language household at all, or was it mostly English at home?
So growing up, I would always be with my parents because I'm the youngest, and so they would
Mm-hmm.
try speaking Khmer. They would have me watch like Cambodian dubbed films and dramas, and I picked on it really well. But then when I entered school, I like completely forgot about it, and
Right.
so now like my mom is used to speaking to me in English, but sometimes she'll say like some words in Khmer, and I'm like, oh, what does that mean? And so I feel
Yeah,
so
yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that in the film too. I think that came across where it's like when as an immigrant parents, they would switch back and forth, and maybe when they're really mad, they yell at you in Hmong.
Yeah, my mom does
Right?
that too. She'll like tell me by my Khmer name at home when she's really mad at me, so that's when I know I'm in big trouble.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And yeah.
But you are a little sister, is that what I heard?
Yeah, I'm the youngest of two boys in the family.
Oh,
Yeah.
So sliding into this role felt a little bit like home too.
Yeah, of course. I was like, oh my gosh, I am I Sue? Like I just felt like it was just very, very natural to get into that character.
Yeah, yeah, no, you did great. Like I told you a minute ago, I'm a high school teacher, and I don't know how old you are, but you played a 17-year-old quite
Uh,
convincingly.
thank
You know,
you.
so yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second. Let's introduce the film a little bit. The film, huge congrats! I thought it was an amazing project, and you guys were both amazing in it.
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it debuted in at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival in February 2022, and since then it's played around the country. Have you been to other premieres? Were you in New York for that festival when they showed it?
No, I was in
No.
Singapore when it was in New
Oh,
York. So yeah,
yeah. So just Perry. I think Perry and Duo were.
Terry and Dua were there. I think Kaylee
Yeah.
was there too. Kaylee, the
Oh, yeah.
director,
Director Kaylee.
and
So,
John Houselock, the producer as well.
uh,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, okay, yeah. But it played up here. I didn't get to see it up here. I should have made more effort to see it in San Francisco. But hopefully it'll play around the country a little bit more. Have you had fun hearing from fans? Has your friends and family been able to see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I
Um,
have some friends that went to the LA Asia Pacific Film Fest, which was screened in LA Asia Pacific Film Fest. Yeah,
Uh huh.
this year. So
Did your son see it and you go, Mom?
yes, yes, my both my sons watched it, my husband watched it, my mother-in-law watched it. So quite a lot of people watched it actually.
Did
Yeah.
they recognize a little bit of you in it, or did they say, "Oh, that was totally different than who you are as a"?
Yeah, a little different, but there's some similarity, some familiar behavior is in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah. Interesting. How about you, Krishna? What did your parents say? Did it seem like they were just watching you, the person on the screen, or Sue, the character?
oh, it was a tough one. I would say it's kind of similar to what Dawn said or Mama Being, where they were like, oh, like you kind of played a character, but I saw some characteristics of you in it. And so
Hmm.
I was fortunate enough to have my parents go with me to the Santa Barbara one, and they were so excited. And my aunties came too, and then my cousin really liked it. She watched it in New York, and she tried FaceTiming me, but I couldn't answer. But she said it was really good, and she was hoping that she could watch it some more. So yeah.
Hopefully, it gets around a little bit more. Let's talk a little bit about your journeys. So, am I right that this was both? Like, I know, Ying, you've been acting a little bit longer, but was this your first full length lead role for you?
Yes, it is
Ah,
actually.
ah.
Yeah.
So what made you get into acting? It looks like you've been doing stuff for over 20 years.
I have actually more than that. I
Mm.
started acting at 19 years old. in Singapore. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I've always loved the performing arts. So I'm either dancing, acting, or singing. It's just something that I have always enjoyed doing. So I never stopped. I don't do it as often when I was married because when I was raising children, just because I wanted to fully focus on taking care of my kids. But I was still going to classes, getting trained and participating in classroom performances and stage performances. Yeah, at that time, despite I wasn't really working as much. Yeah.
How about you, Krishna? This was your first film, I believe.
Yes, this was my first film. It was just life-changing, I think. I've
Mm.
never really experienced acting like on screen. I did a couple theater productions here and there for school, but I never really thought that I could take it more seriously. And it really opened like my mind to just try and pursue something that I've always dreamt of because I tried to look at life realistically and I was thinking like, oh, there's so many people who are pursuing acting, so it's going to be a lot more difficult to pursue that. So I was just like trying to figure
Yeah.
out other ways that I can just do it on the side and then try to find like more, I guess, realistic careers, I think.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
I'm really glad I took a chance because my uncle was the one that actually pushed me to it. He knew that I was really into like theater and I was in a lot of theater productions in high school. So he's just like, why not just do this? Just keep doing it, do it, do it. So every time he would see me, he would just like be on my case to just submit it to Kaylee. And I'm really thankful that he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are.
yeah.
I am. She's so adorable and lovely to have her
Everyone's
to
favorite
play
little
my
sister.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah. And you got to
yeah.
dance a little bit. Are you a dancer? Was that an easy scene for you, or did you train for that?
Oh, I am not a dancer. I met with Aniston and we were able to be three of us, Aniston and Ariana, and we just like came to terms of like meeting at like a dance little studio, I think. And we were taking pictures of like showcasing our friendship for the film, and she was teaching me to dance, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. And so she sent me videos, which thankfully helped, and I was just like practicing anywhere I could in the shower,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was like, dang, dancing is fun, but I'll have to train for that.
Well, you look like a natural. It looked like it came to you, so
Thank you.
sure, sure. So, was this film during the pandemic? Was this film like right in the middle of everything going on?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it was filmed in like 2021. So we would have to do
Uh-huh.
routine like checks for like through our
Right.
nose and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
Every
yeah,
day.
we
Yeah,
were.
before the set
Mhm.
starts. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had read that he wanted to do it in Minnesota,
Yeah.
his hometown, because there's a huge Hmong community in Minnesota, but I think just with everything, he couldn't get a crew out there, and
Oh yeah.
travel was hard. So
Mm-hmm.
it takes place in L.A. or Southern California somewhere, I think.
Yes, it was in LA. Yeah.
And so a little bit about Dua. He is Hmong from the Minnesota area, and audience out there, you probably might have seen him in Gran Torino in 2008. Or he's everyone's chubby warrior in the live action Mulan. I heard he had to gain like 60 pounds for that role or something. I saw a picture of it. He did a before and after where he had to gain
Wow.
all this weight so he can look a little bit chubby for that role.
Yeah.
The
But
commitment.
yeah, yeah. But I think, and maybe you can help me fill in the gaps here a little bit. I heard that this film is largely based on his life and something that kind of just resonated with him. He wanted to write this. I think it was after Gran Torino. It just kind of planted a seed in his head that he wanted to do another film about the Hmong community and his family. Do you know much about how the film started?
Well, I would say that he wanted more representation after he did
Yeah,
Gran Torino. There weren't really a lot of Hmong roles
yeah,
out there for
yeah,
him, and it's been a tough road, for not only him but for a lot of Asian actors. And
yeah.
so part of the story is based off his life. And I'm not going to tell you which part, but the audience can go watch it and we'll figure it out. But yeah, part of the story is based off his life and his family. But in general, his main purpose was also to create a film that has representation for the Hmong community as well as the Asian community.
Yeah, and it's really, I think it's an important film, that was made because I think Southeast Asian representation in film, not really, there's not a whole lot of examples you can point to. Gran Torino was one, and then, we talked about The Donut King a second ago. That was a documentary. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Southeast Asian family stories not totally told out there. And this one, I want to say is one of the more realistic views of a family that I've ever seen. We're going to do no spoilers, everyone, but even in the first 5 minutes, there's even just subtle lines. Like, Chrisna, you have this line where you're walking in and you see your mom and you're just like, oh, your great son is back,
That's
and
right.
as a younger daughter, if you have an older brother in an Asian family, that's pretty common. It's your son,
Yeah. Yep. The son is always the important one, It's like every Asian culture is like, oh, we have to at least hopefully have a son because the son carries the last name for the family, right? So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just this cultural thing that son is always more important than daughters. But actually, I wish I have a daughter.
Right? I got 2 daughters.
I'm right here, Mama Ying. What are you saying?
Yes.
Now you have a daughter.
I actually have many twin daughters, which is kind of great. Fill up the void that I have without. In real life, I don't really have any daughters.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's funny or not, but they keep telling Sue to leave the room. They're like, Sue, go upstairs. Go to your room.
Honestly, that's how it is at home.
She's the youngest. She's a girl. She shouldn't be listening to this, and she probably wouldn't know anything.
Yeah.
So, go to your room. Go here. Go there.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm totally interpreting it right, but it seemed like there's a fair amount of an age gap between your brother Ty and Sue. And maybe even where maybe Ty was born in Laos or wherever he was born.
Yes, in the refugee camp.
Yeah. But then maybe Sue was born here. Yeah.
Yes, as a Asian, like a real Asian American. So born in the U.S. Yeah.
You kind of see that gap. So you guys played that very well, where you could see the dynamics, of this complex family. And that's something that we don't really see. Like, a lot of mainstream America thinks of Asian families as these model minorities. The kids all do well in school and they don't break the rules and they go to college and they become engineers, But this was such a nice view of a family that's not perfect.
Yeah, we really like the script. I think it was very well written, and it gives a very balanced view of every character. And of course, Kaylee, the brilliant director, she knows the dynamics really well. So I think she directed us very well as well. I think that's part of the reason why you could actually see a lot of in-depth feelings of each character as well.
Yeah.
Your great son is back.
Oh, you're a handsome man now.
Huh? You came home?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So how was life in the Bay?
It's hard writing and working at the same time. You?
You're not new here, man. Everyone's just doing the usual. Getting married, dropping babies left and right.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Is she Hmong?
Yeah, Ty. Is she Hmong?
I mean, our parents turned out okay.
Yeah. Miserable, suffocating, and a loveless marriage.
Hiya, you old man. Well, you only know how to lecture, but you don't know how to listen.
Dr. Williams and I are a little frustrated with your father, Ty.
We're crossing fingers for a match, but if he refuses treatment, he might be deemed as non-compliant.
You know you and Dad are sort of alike, right? You're both so stubborn.
Take medicine. Don't eat this, don't eat that. What good does it do if I can't do what I want?
You don't know how to walk in anyone else's shoes but your own.
We feel it's time for you to step up.
But I have a life in San Francisco.
You both have no problem using others for whatever you want.
That's how you see me.
Said I don't want to talk about it.
Real love is defined by the sacrifices that we make. It's a choice. It's not an obligation.
Don't you want to make your family proud?
Were there any things that you saw in there that made you realize, wow, this is really a legit Asian family? Like when you read the script, or when you saw maybe it's a line or even just a subtle action. Like one thing I saw, again, first 5 minutes, is the dinner table, with 7 dishes. Where it's like every night we're gonna have a soup, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have rice. It's like that just felt so real to me that maybe people wouldn't notice, but I think an Asian family would be like, yeah, that's how it is. You have 8 dishes every night.
Right. Asian family is all about food, right? I mean, even the way as parents, even like myself, I would consider myself as a pretty harsh mom when things is not up to my standard. But the way for me to show my love to my kids is food. I'll prepare a good meal for everybody to make up for my tigerness.
Yeah. How about you, Chrisna? Was there anything in the script that made you feel like, wow, this could be my family?
I would say besides the food, I would also think the little incense. Like I have a little shrine at our house where we like incense whenever we're feeling a little like down and like we feel like we need to pray to our ancestors for like comfort and stuff like that. So I really think that resonated with me as well. But yeah, the food is good.
And we should shout out our guy Perry Young. I know Perry a little. We did an interview right before the strike, so I did an interview about Warrior with Perry, but I didn't put it up yet because of the strike, because we're trying to wait for that to end. But shout out to Perry Young. I think he was born to be an Asian dad. I mean, he's so good. So one of the things that resonated with me was that when Ty walks in and tries to chat up his dad a little, and the Perry's character just kind of grunts at him, doesn't really talk to him, and that felt maybe a little too real for some of us Asian kids out there.
Some the old school dad, the old school dad is always like that. My dad was like that too. Even me, when I go up to him and call him pa, and then he'll like, that's it.
Yeah. And the stubbornness.
Yeah. But actually Perry is really a cool guy.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, he plays the instruments, a few different musical instruments. He's pretty like aware of what's going on, in pop culture. So
he's great. Yeah,
he plays it really well.
Now, we talked for over 2 hours, and it was just his knowledge of Asian American history and film history and television history. It was just great. I loved it. I was like, I don't know if the audience wants to hear 2 hours of us talk, but it was fantastic. So he is such a good actor too, like really, really good actor. I guess he had to learn some Hmong, huh? He had quite a few Hmong lines.
Right. Yeah, he did. He got together with some people in the Hmong community, and he spent some time with them, and he learned, and they tried to adjust his pronunciation as well. Actually, I did too. Yeah. We have a really nice lady that we didn't see her, but her name is Pamela, I think. Yeah. She basically just record the pronunciation on the phone, and then so we could keep it with us and we can keep listening it over and over just to be sure we got it right as well.
Yeah. Chrisna, did you have any Hmong lines? I don't remember. Did you have a few?
No, I didn't. I was so sad. I was like, dang, I would have wanted some.
Yeah, well, that fit your character though. Someone
Yeah,
who made,
exactly. Even like my
American born.
son, at this age, he would never want to use a single Mandarin, even though he speaks some. Like he wouldn't want to speak Mandarin at all. So, yeah, your character probably wouldn't want to speak Hmong either,
That makes sense. Yeah.
It did make sense. Yeah. But so I just love the way that these, like you said a second ago, that Kaylee So kind of directed you guys and wrote you guys to be three-dimensional characters. So Chrisna, do you want to describe Sue to us a little bit?
I would say Sue is just someone who born into America. She does have like a little bit of cultural clash in terms of like what her parents perceive as right, I guess. And she tries to be as understanding as she could, but there comes to a point where she feels like she's not just Hmong, she's like Hmong American. And she's trying to find that middle ground where she can have both of it work together. And so there are some interesting dynamics that she kinds of does, because I'm not trying to say spoilers, but it's gonna be hard.
It's hard. Yeah,
yeah.
You can see the conflict in her.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflict of trying to be the best star she can be, as well as coming to terms of herself as her own person.
Yeah.
And so there's a bit of that little clash, because she does want to respect how her parents feel, but she feels like that's not who she is either. So yeah.
And you're figuring out how to be and Sue's figuring out how to be an adult, and figuring out life and love and everything. Yeah, it's a hard time in life for anyone, but I would think, when you're in between the characters, in between these multiple worlds of old culture, new culture, and so well done on that for sure. And then I love the fact that you have Ying, you have your character has a name, but I don't think we ever hear it.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't think anyone ever refers to you as I think you are. You are. But I think you're just Ty and Sue's mom, right?
Yeah, I'm Ty and Sue's mom, and I'm Perry Young's wife.
That's the Asian way.
He never addressed me by that name too.
Yeah, and we find out during the, I don't think this is a spoiler, but we found out that it was an arranged marriage. And that, for a lot of folks out there, that might be kind of a foreign concept, but it still goes on, it still goes on to this day. And it sounds like you went, the character went with it, and that's just kind of what happens. You grow to love each other.
Yeah, well, yeah, in a way, because, and the couple, the husband and wife are kind of bond together mostly for upholding that family name, that tradition, right? Because we were brought up to, as soon as you're married into this other family, your job is to stay committed and responsible, and what's the word? Stay committed,
like honorable.
Yeah,
like you're honoring.
Honorable. Yeah, honoring the name of the family. So for that particular for Hmong community, that's really important. So that's why they're still married after many years. But as you can see, she goes through the thick and thins with him.
Yeah,
basically.
not a perfect marriage, but but you can see you can see the devotion there, and you can see the loyalty. Yeah.
I think in general, most marriages has to go through a lot, right, to keep it together. It's just a fact. It's not just Asian marriages or pre-arranged marriages. All marriages are the same. We all have to go through a lot of different things to keep it together. Yeah.
No, I love that about this. That you saw the goods, you saw the bads, you saw the highs and lows, and you kind of, you're getting a view of it that maybe you don't, if you don't know this kind of family that you've never seen before. So I love the fact that he was able to bring that to the screen.
Thank you.
Now it's what do you think of the ending? The ending is not a perfect ending. There's some pieces that still need to fall in place. How'd you feel about the ending? Did you see the ending coming the way it was, or did they change it at all as they're working it out?
I think that's I wish it's a more perfect ending, but being man of that community, the face is so important,
Yeah.
Safe face is such a important thing. So yeah, we'll leave it as that. So, yeah.
There was that line where he even says, I can't even be a man, like I think is one of the lines. And I think that's kind of a common experience with people who immigrate here. Maybe they had a different life, or they thought they would have a different life when they got here, and it doesn't always turn out the way you want it. So you kind of see that frustration in him as a man, as the head of the family. He's kind of feeling like he's losing control a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I think so. Yeah.
What do you think of the ending, Chrisna?
Honestly, I think the ending was good. I think it was realistic, in terms of sometimes you can expect change, but you can always appreciate the little change that you had done in your life. And I feel like, we can always just take it as a small win, and just hopefully things will get better later on. So I really liked it.
There was some growth. Yeah, you saw everyone grow a little bit. Everyone's figuring out who they are a little bit, but it's not end. It's not an end of an end. Like it's the end of that picture of their lives. But yeah, you hope that they're going in different directions. Yeah. So everyone out there, you should try to find this. Do you know any other showings that are coming up? I couldn't find any online. Do you know of any future screenings?
Right now, no, actually. I think the last one was in New York. If there is any future screening, they usually announce it like a month before, prior. So at this point, they haven't announced anything, but that doesn't mean that they are not going to have future screening. That could be, it's always ongoing. So we wouldn't know until they announce it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hope so. I hope there's a lot more, because, it's been in a few cities, bigger cities on the coast, but, hopefully more of America could see it. So that would be great.
We hope so too. Yeah.
How about you guys? The future for you, Chrisna? You have any projects that you're looking at doing this year, or just auditioning, sending tapes out?
Just trying to audition, send as many tapes as I can. I do go to school, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult. And on top of school, I also have work, so it's like, But yeah, I'll definitely try my best to send as many as I can. And yeah, we'll see.
But this is something that you can kind of see being in the future a career for you?
I mean, yeah, hopefully I can manifest that life for me, just gotta speak it into existence.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if we've totally turned a corner, but I've started to see a lot more roles, I think, for Asian Americans. And
yeah, I noticed that as well. It's like a lot more, like even my friends are like, oh my gosh, Netflix has so many like Asian movies and shows out now. You guys could be a part of it. And so I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
No, I think even compared to 10 years ago, I think it's changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
How about you, Ying? You gonna keep auditioning, keep trying to do more now?
Keep auditioning, and then I mean, my age range, so there's not a whole lot of stuff going on. But whenever there is, I'm always ready for it. I'm like, I'll just go. My agent is still submitting me, thank goodness. So that's a good thing. And then I just I'm also writing. Yeah, hopefully someday, my own story might be able to transform it into a script and then turn it into a film as well. I'm always doing something. I'm just trying to do something to keep going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked to other people about that, where sometimes, and that was, I think it was Doua's story, where it's like, if you don't see it, maybe you got to be the one to write it. Maybe you got to make the roles for yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, best of luck to both of you. And everyone out there, go see this film if you can. Try to get some eyeballs on it. I'll let you know. Like, keep an eye on my Instagram. I'll post up anything if I see a showing of this. I hope to see this in the theater someday. And we like to end the show by asking our guests who their infatuasian is. An infatuasian is anyone that you admire in the Asian community. Could be someone you know. Could be someone that you admire from afar. They could be living. They could be deceased. So let's see, who wants to go first? Should we start with Mama Ying on this one?
Me. I mean, I really like Ronnie Chang. That's he's my infatuation.
Right.
It's like he is just so funny. I love a funny guy, and he's just I mean, I hope at some point in my life I would have a chance to work with him because, he's from Southeast Asia as well, and so it will be so fun to be able to have a chat with him and talk to him. Yeah.
No, he's
he
great.
Cracks me up all the time. Yeah, I like him a lot.
And he's a rising star for sure. You start to see him more and more everywhere.
Yeah.
So we like to manifest too. So Ronnie, if you're out there and you want to come on our podcast, come on by. We'll chat you up a little bit. That'd be super fun. Chrisna, how about you? You got an infatuation?
Oh, I would say it's a tie between Brenda Song and Lucy Liu. Yeah, so I would remember like growing up and just seeing them on screen. I'm just like, oh my gosh, they look like me. Like I would love to work with them. They've been my role models, and they're just so amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Now Brenda Song Hmong, right?
Yeah, she's Hmong. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's
really?
Very cool.
Wow, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she's great. I'm older, but I remember her and seeing her on Zach and Cody's The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
That's exactly where I've seen her from too.
Homecoming Warrior. Yeah, no, she's great. I she's been doing a little bit more. You see her every so often. She'll pop up and you're like, oh, there's Brenda Song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's great. She's great. All right. Yeah, no, good picks. Lucy Liu, of course, legend. She's an OG.
I literally watched her almost every in Singapore, because there were not a whole lot of American shows in Singapore, and then they were showing Ally McBeal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I would run home just to watch it because they only show it at a certain time. Like if I'm out having dinner, I want to make sure I get in front of my TV, because I want to watch her.
Yeah, but that shows that it's come a long way because I mean you named probably the two, right? The two from the early 2000s, late 90s that most people will know. But now there are dozens of Asian women and men that are writing and producing and starring in things, and so we're starting to see things change a little bit, which is great. So so hopefully, someday I hope that we all get to see ourselves on screen and get to see people that look like you a little bit more. So thanks for being a part of that. All right. And everyone out there, thank you for listening to us. We hope that you enjoyed our chat. And if you have any questions or reactions, please send it our way at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at infatuasianpodcast. Do you guys have Instagram handles or any social media you'd like me to shout out?
Sure. Well, mine is at Dawn Ying Yuen, Instagram. Yeah.
Nice.
Mine is kind of weird. I love puns. So mine is at Merry Christmas.
I love it. Well, you're in the right place. We love puns too, obviously. So, Merry Christmas. Nice.
Yeah.
So, you can follow our guests at their Instagrams as well. Please subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Apple or Spotify. Give us a follow, and you can leave us a review as well. And so, on behalf of Chrisna, Ying, and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. Until we talk to you again, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Curtis. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
listening in.